Okay, let's try to launch Hyperion. Boom. Oh, what just happened? Yo guys, what is going on? I am back with a 3D printing video. So what I have right here is Panic Bahamut. I've been working on this for a good while now, and before we even get started, credit to Crazy Aries for the model files. I will be linking his channel below, as well as crediting the original video that he made, because without him this would not be possible. So thank you, Crazy Aries. But yeah, 3D squad, putty squad, where are you guys at? Make sure you guys represent them below. Hashtag putty squad or hashtag 3D squad. Can we reach 400 likes for this video? I think we can, boys. This is Panic Bahamut, and as you guys can see, it is a sparking version of Bahamut, which is pretty unique. So let's go ahead and do a comparison with the previous evolutions of Bahamut. So what better place to start than the original Bahamut, Arc Bahamut from the God Layer system. This was a pretty major release. Of course, it features a layer that changes shape as it clicks. And on top of that, it comes with atomics. Granted, the teeth weren't that hot, but it did also include the bump frame, which again was a very good part for its time. Now this Beyblade, if I can put it together now, was owned by Boa as part of the Snake Pit group. Now next up, the evolution, or you may not consider this an evolution, but Dread Bahamut came about as part of the GT system with a slightly different design comparing these two. In addition, including a few other gimmicks such as the Gen weight and this. Basically, these wings pop out that increase burst resistance or even make it more rounder as it clicks, if it clicks at all. So this is a very interesting Beyblade. I feel like it got overlooked in GT, but it did include the wall frame and orbit metal, so two very versatile parts. And again, the owner for this was blind, so it was owned by a completely different person. So what if I told you guys there is now a sparking evolution, this being Panic Bahamut. Again, this is Crazy Aries' creation, so it is not necessarily canon. So let me go ahead and take it apart so we can take a closer look at the parts and get right into the details. All right, so let's start off with the chip core. So if you guys haven't noticed, the last two Bahamuts kind of kept the theme of red in the center, so I went with the most logical approach, that being Brave Valkyrie's chip core. So it's borrowed from that. It is not 3D printed, just for the record. Next up is the Bahamut chip, and this is 3D printed. In fact, I printed it with a tough resin, so this came out pretty clean as far as the quality. It's very high quality. As for the base paint, I used an airbrush Tamiya matte black, and then for the details, and I hate to admit this, I had to use metallic Sharpies. So, but either way, I got some of the details in, but there you guys have it. This is just your ordinary sparking chip in left spin. Next up is the most interesting piece, I would say, and that is the Panic base. And as you guys can see, it's got a lot of cool colors, so I added metallic blue for these highlights. But for the base, or the main piece, it is a PLA Plus, which I painted matte black, pretty much the same color as this sparking chip, though I ended up getting a much cleaner finish because I did sand down this part extensively. So my sanding process does take a long time, but the results are really smooth. You can kind of see like a gloss or shine because I sanded this down pretty well. As for these wings, these are actually part of the Panic gimmick, and that being that these wings push in and out whenever it is used in battle, and they act as burst stoppers. These are also printed in PLA Plus. So I painted them in a kind of emerald, shiny metallic green, and they turned out beautiful. As for the bottom, you can pretty much see that these wings are screwed into place. However, they do still have some movement. And this is just how the gimmick works. So if you look back, it is very similar to Dread Bahamut in that these wings come in and out. But anyway, this is a left spin base, and it's very reminiscent of the previous Bahamut designs. Next up for the chassis, we're actually going with a double chassis. This is the recommended chassis that Crazy Aries used, and that being a 2D that has no rubber attached. So it's not awakened or mint. I actually had to drill out the rivets in order to remove the rubber. But this basically provides a very heavy, bulky chassis, which in a way reminds me a lot of Wall. So I would say it's definitely a worthy upgrade. And again, double chassis are just very powerful, so I think it's very fitting for this defense type Beyblade. Next up for the driver, I feel like there was a lot of options that we could have gone with, but Universe is also a very good fit because it's free spinning and it has pretty good stamina and LAD, so you can't go wrong with this. But without further ado, let's go ahead and put this all together, and I almost forgot the chip core. But yeah, overall, very, very pleased with how this project turned out. I did take longer than usual because I was being extra careful as far as painting. Though, again, I do wish the details turned out a little bit cleaner, but again, it is what it is. The best part about this print is that it's a fully functional Beyblade. I have zero concerns about it breaking. If anything, we will see some paint chipping, but that is to be expected when working with these kind of prints. So putting this together is a little bit tricky though, because Universe is just weird and it's really hard to grip. So let me just go ahead and try to do this. All right, and these clicks are really tough. Again, Universe makes it hard to kind of grab it, but you just kind of twist the chassis around and bam, you have the complete combo, Panic Bahamut Universe 2D. Now, one last thing before we even get to test battles is a weight comparison. So let's go ahead and weigh the previous iterations of Bahamut with the Sparking version. So first off is Arc Bahamut. And we're looking at 44.61. Next up is Dread Bahamut. 53.28. So it is a little bit heavier. And then finally, Panic Bahamut. 69.75. So definitely heavier than the rest. Now comparing that to some other Sparking Beyblades that I have lying around. So here's Infinite Achilles. 64.36, so heavier than Achilles, but about 5 grams. Here we have Lucifer, or the original Lucifer, Variant Lucifer. It's even heavier than Variant Lucifer. And then Tempest Dragon. So let's see what that's weighing in at. So Tempest Dragon is heavier, but it's Tempest Dragon. That's to be expected. Overall, very, very solid Beyblade. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do some test battles with this bad boy. We're gonna see just how bulky and beefy and just defensive it is in battle. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get started with a test launch. And this is a little bit tricky to launch, really because of the burst stopper gimmick. So they do kind of get in the way at times. Boom, we got a solid launch. And of course, Universe is somewhat aggressive, that being because it's a ball. So it is a semi-aggressive driver on a defense type Beyblade, but of course it does slow down eventually and you end up with this. So stamina wise, I don't think it's gonna be too hot, but then again, I don't see it scraping that much. So let's go ahead and get with the test battles. Oh, crazy hits, and it looks like we got a draw. Oh, some minor scrapes with Panic Bahamut, but it is surviving. Ooh, check out that hit. Really solid all around. This thing looks great while it's spinning. Can we get another win for Bahamut? Nice. Alright. Surprisingly, Ragnarok has not bursted, but now it has, of course. So we are getting some minor scraping, but it's slowed down, and Diabolos is putting up a fight, but then again, this Bahamut is a tank. It barely moves. And it is on a mobile driver, so very surprising. Alright, we're gonna ramp up the difficulty. Let's see how it does against Dragon. It's absorbing a lot of those hits from Dragon. Wow, okay. I am impressed. And it looks like it's coming down to stamina, of course. Bahamut has an upper hand here, and wow, it just beat Dragon. Alright, and it's going against Curse Satan now. It's going to be a defense on defense battle. Both of them are on Universe, by the way, so this will be interesting to see. It is coming down to stamina, of course. Who will take this? And it's coming really close. It looks like a tie. Oh, so that wasn't a good launch on Bahamut, but that was a very cool way to start the battle. Because now it looks like Bahamut is equalizing the spin of Helios. Almost to the point where it may just win. Despite being launched really poorly, it still took the dub. Alright, and looks like Fafnir is going to test its stamina for sure. But then again, they are both left spin, so there's not going to be much spin stealing, if at all, and it just took down Fafnir. Wow. Okay, let's try to launch Hyperion. Boom. Oh, what just happened? That was an amazing counter. Alright, we got a battle now against Lucifer. Variant Lucifer, that is. I still do not have Lucifer the end, by the way. So let's see how this battle turns out, though. They're both defense types with very unique gimmicks. So let's see how this battle's going to turn out. It looks very close, and I want to say that's a draw. Alright, Rage is going in, but check that out. It just withstood that impact from Rage Longinus. Who is going to take this? And Bahamut got the win. Wow, I am impressed with Bahamut's performance. Alright, who will take this? We got World Spriggan going in hard, getting some counter breaks. But of course, it seems to be getting absorbed by Bahamut. All of its attacks are being nullified as I speak. So this is going to be a stamina match, of course. Bahamut is putting in that work. And now it's going to come down to Unite versus Universe. I think we can all guess who's going to win this match. So let's see what comes of this. It's going to come down to Bahamut, of course. Alright, and we got Brave versus Bahamut. Brave tried to get a quick attack in, but that did not work. Now it's going to be up to just stamina. Bahamut is staying in the center, determined to win against Valkyrie. I think it definitely can, boys. So, here we go. It is finally about to make contact, I'm sure. And there we go. This is going to be very close. and it looks like Bahamut took that with an easy win on Brave Valkyrie. All right, there you guys have it. This is Panic Bahamut. Again, thank you Crazy Aries for making this possible. I am very impressed with its performance. It is practically unburstable, but that should be expected. It is a sparking Beyblade. The gimmick works beautifully, and I think the color scheme on this just pops. So overall, very pleased with this. Let me know what you guys think though of this print, and stay tuned for more 3D printing projects on the way. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, see ya. Peace.